What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are. It's Tuesday morning, and yesterday was a solid green day. We had some great momentum. Today, things were a little choppier, but I was able to finish the day in the green, although I started in the red. First trade put me in the red. The stocks that were moving today sort of strangely were some of these stocks that had made big moves earlier in the year, INDO, HUSA, these energy stocks. And I was a little cautious on INDO because I saw it was coming up to the 200 moving average. So for my first trade, I traded HUSA, HUSA, while INDO was squeezing. I took that as a sympathy trade. Well, I ended up losing on that $1,700 on my first trade. Put me in the red and then had to rally back. I was able to make a little profit on a dead cat bounce from a recent IPO, or actually a de-SPAC merger. I was also able to capture some profit on INDO as it broke through $10, the 200 moving average, and squeezed up to 12 and just about to 13. But I never took big size on it because, of course, like on Friday, I dug myself a hole and I kind of had to adjust my expectations early from, you know, maybe this being a nice green day and hitting my $5,000 daily goal. Well, once I was red 1700, I was like, okay, well, first goal now is just to see if I can find a couple of trades that I can get green on, and I have to make sure I don't dig the hole deeper. So I've got to start taking less risk. What a lot of traders do, and I'm sometimes guilty of this, is as we go further into the red, we start taking more and more and more risk to try to bounce from red to green. And that can work, but when it doesn't work, you end up going deep into the red. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. So today, as I dropped down to minus 1700, that right there was my biggest position of the day. And from that point forward, I traded with smaller size as I was trying to dig myself out of the hole. And I managed to do it, same as I did on Friday, finishing the day in the green, not quite halfway to the daily goal, but green. And that's, you know, that's about as much as I can ask for after falling, you know, into the red on my first trade. So adjusted expectations. We also had an IPO today. It was priced at $4 to $5 a share. It opened at like 28. It squeezed into a halt immediately. I tried to buy, did not get filled. It then opened higher, 35, 36, squeezed up to 40, the 40s. I mean, it was pretty wild, but I didn't want to chase it. So stay disciplined because by that time, that was like 10:45, 11 a.m. I didn't feel like I had the cushion on the day to take the risk, so, and which was true, I really didn't. So shut it down around lunchtime today. So anything we ended up having this afternoon, I missed, left some money on the table, but I can't really complain too much because locking up a green day. So I'll be back at it again first thing tomorrow. Reminder, today is the last day of the sales over at Warrior. I was gonna mention that to you guys yesterday, but I forgot. So if you haven't already checked them out, you can check them out over at warriortrading.com. 40% off coupon code for the Warrior Starter or the Warrior Pro course. So those are for members that want not just access to the Day Trade Dash platform and to the ultra low latency broadcast and the scanners and things like that, but also want to go through the curriculum and attend all of the mentor sessions that make up the Warrior Pro experience. So I hope you guys check that out. And reminder, as always, that trading is risky and my results are not typical. So please take it slow, and I'll see you back here first thing tomorrow morning. All right, everyone. Well, I'm gonna go over my trades from the day. So finishing today, not even halfway to my daily goal, but another green day. So can't really complain, a small green day. And my first trade was a $1,700 loss. So I dug myself out of the hole from being red to green, which by itself is always a success. So much happier to finish the day up 2,000 versus down 2,000. And so let's go back and start with the first trade today. It was on HUSA. Well, the thing here today is that we really didn't have a very good gap scanner, and that by itself was warning enough to be cautious. And I didn't really heed that warning as well as I could have. So at the open, even though I didn't really like INDO or HUSA, both of which are energy stocks, INDO did start squeezing up. I felt like it had a bit of a problem. The problem being that the 200 moving average was right here at $10. I thought it seemed too close. I also sort of felt that INDO is sort of overdone. It's on the backside of the move. I just didn't feel like we would get a big move on it. And, you know, that was not correct. it ended up giving us a pretty nice move. It just actually hit high of day of 1276. So at the open, when it starts squeezing up right here up to 970, I was like, you know what? It's 970, $10 is the 200 moving average. It's too close to that level. HUSA is a sympathy momentum stock. I'm going to jump in that one instead. And so I jumped in it right here. It's a cheaper stock also. So I bought 10,000 shares right here at 520. Maybe a little FOMO there. Well, 519, something like that. Maybe a little bit of like, oh, I didn't get INDO. I'll jump in HUSA. Hit double tops right here. And then I stopped out, less than a minute later right here at about 502. So I didn't wait for it to break 5, the critical psychological support. But as it broke down here, I hit the bid and bailed out with a little slippage and lost $1,700, 17 cents on 10,000 shares, right? So 17-cent loser on HUSA. And just like that, I'm in the red. So I kind of immediately was like, oh boy, all right, well, settle down. You're gonna be here for a while. Now you've got to dig yourself out of this hole, and you've adjusted your daily goal from 5,000 to just finish the day green. So now I've got to make 1,700 just to finish flat, basically. So that was HUSA. The next trade was on NERV. NERV pops up on our scanners a little earlier. And again, I didn't even take my first trade until the opening bell. I jump in here at about 585. It's squeezing up. This wasn't a great setup, except I was watching for a possible squeeze through $5, and it was strong yesterday. If it hadn't been strong yesterday, probably wouldn't have taken the trade. Because it was strong yesterday, I thought, okay, let's see if this breaks 5, holds 5, and then squeezes to the next level. It couldn't hold over 5, and it came back down, and I stopped out for, well, I was up 400, and then by the time I was all out, I was up only 192. So that was NERV. Not a great trade, really. It didn't hold up well. Then I started trading INDO a little bit. I was like, all right, if this thing, it seems like it is strong, I'll start trading it in this area. And we did get the break through the 200 moving average. And I took that trade. Unfortunately, as is sometimes the case, I didn't take it with enough share size. So my position just wasn't very big, and part of that was because I was nervous about the 200 moving average. I was still red on the day, and I just felt like, I just don't know if this one's going to open up. It's not really, doesn't feel like fresh front side of the move. So I made $2,700 on it in total, but it does make it my biggest winner. But it just wasn't, I just didn't feel comfortable sizing up. And then, of course, by the time it really started to move, I was like, well, now I'd be really chasing it. Whatever. So here you can see it pops up. We had a nice clean break of $10. It breaks through 10. It hits a high of 1028, does a micro pullback, dips down here to 1012, then breaks 1028 and squeezes up to 1045. Pulls back, breaks through 1045, goes up to 1060. Drops down here for a second to 1032, dip trade opportunity, rips back up to 1072, pulls back, goes up to 1080. Not a little tricky here, kind of grinding, a little pop and then dip down, and then pops up to 1088, and then squeezes through 11, clean move up to 1125, dips down to 1097, reclaims the whole dollar of 11, breaks through high of day 1120, squeezes to 1140, pulls back, hits up to a high of 1150, $0.50 resistance, drops hard down to $11.10, comes back up for 1 second attempt, false breakout, and then dips back down again. So then we got this longer period of consolidation, and as we came back right here, this gave us a couple opportunities here for the breakthrough the breakthrough 12. So, got a few trades on it. Nothing super exciting. AKLI, this is another one that I got earlier. It started to squeeze up here. A badge holder who's got $1 million badge say, hey, take a look at AKLA. Possible first daily candle or possible dead cat bounce. First candle to go green after that big sell-off. And I thought, yep, that looks good. Jumped in 65, 75, 85, squeezes up to a high of 729, about 60 cents a share. Booked some profit, was looking to add back for the break of 720. I added back. I then stopped out as it flushed down here, gave back maybe, I don't know, half my gain on it, and it ends up dropping down quite a bit. It just doesn't hold. So I think AKLI, like MEG-L, is worth keeping on watch for a possible dead cat bounce, but today wasn't the day, which is a little disappointing. STBX IPO'd. I tried to get in this, no fill at 27.31 on this candle right here. So that was a bummer. Put out the orders, but none of them filled. And at that point, I kind of was like, you know what? I don't know. I'm kind of getting a little, feel like I'm overstaying my welcome a bit. I think it might be time just to shut it down and call it quits. So got a couple more trades on INDO as it squeezed up to 12, whatever that was, 12.50, 12.75. But just not an easy day. Some days are more difficult than others. Today didn't feel super clean. We didn't have any great gappers. We didn't have anything great pre-market. So I'm glad I was able to capture a little profit, but you know, that kind of old saying that I've had, no gappers, no trades, would have prevented me from going into the red 1700. And you know, I could have easily gone to down 3,000 or 4,000. It just happened that we got a little bit of momentum at the open on INDO and AKLI, but it wasn't super clean today. So, you know, Friday was choppy. I was down 6,000, recovered to green. Monday yesterday was good. Monday was great. Finished up 7,000. Today went down 1,700. Had to dig myself back out of the hole and traded, you know, some setups I might not have ordinarily traded if I had been a bit more in the green and kind of in the driver's seat on the day. So, you know, that's kind of how it goes. I think at this point, coming up to noontime, given that it's been slow for me today, I'm happy just to throw in the towel, book another green day, and live to trade another day. You know, be back at it tomorrow. We'll try again. Maybe tomorrow we'll get some better gappers pre-market and some cleaner action. Middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, see if we can finish the week strong. This is our last, you know, the last full week of the month. So, you know, it's, I don't know, it's kind of a good time just to try to hit some base hits, lock up, you know, for me, if I can, 2,500 to 5,000, hit the daily goal. If something really looks phenomenal, okay, but these last couple IPOs, STBX, GCT, while they gave some opportunities, they've also been pretty choppy. They've pulled back quite a lot. So I think it's a good time to be a little cautious. All right, so that's it for me. I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. Hopefully we have some good gappers on the scan when we sit down. I hope you really enjoyed that video, and make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 1 million subscribers this year, but we won't get there without your help. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button.